Hello, welcome. In this training, we are talking about why offering one product or service to one type of person is going to be a really good move for your business. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, Brooke, I can't just pick one thing. I do deliveries, I do corporates, I do weddings, I do dried wreaths. I get inquiries from mums, from grandmas, from males, from young and old, all of the things. Now, if you're just taking on whatever comes in at the moment, whatever work comes in at the moment, that is totally okay for now, but not for much longer. We are doing this so you can speak to your dream customers, speak their language, not only say they listen, but they are compelled to buy. So if you can get this part of your business right, you're off to a really great start. Now, I just want to cover some basics before we really get into the weeds of this training. In the retail flower industry, I believe that there are two essential types of niches that set you up for success. The first one is your people niche. This is the specific people you serve. So for example, hospitality venues, real estate agents, professional females, males aged between 20 and 30. The second one is your product niche. So this focuses on your product, your unique product or service offering and design aesthetic. For example, statement vase arrangements, bouquet deliveries, dried flowers, flower crown making workshops. And then you can even take that one step further with the design aesthetic. For example, statement vase arrangements specializing in Australian natives, or bouquet deliveries specializing in dried flowers. Now, in the first few years of business, it can take a really long time to figure out your people niche and your product niche. And you may need to test some different things so you can find out what you actually like doing. But I really want you to get there sooner rather than later. Also, the reason that this module is called Niche for Now is exactly that. It doesn't mean that you have to have one product niche and one people niche forever. I just want you to start focusing on one thing at a time to get you where you need to be faster. For example, if you're spending your day trying to improve and figure out how to market your corporate offering, your wedding offering, your dried wreath flower offering, your delivery offering, your gift range, you are going to move at a really slow pace. Whereas if you focus your day on just one thing, you are going to see and create growth at a much faster pace. I also want you to choose the one thing that is going to become your signature offer and what you'd really like to become known for. So firstly, let's talk about your people niche. Sometimes we think of it as a demographic like I work with corporates, or I work with hotels, or I just work with busy mums aged between 30 and 50. What we really need to start thinking about is, yes, the demographic, but also the problem that we're solving. The problem that we are solving for most businesses is the missing piece of the puzzle. So for example, if we take busy mums aged between 30 and 50, the problem that we're solving for them is they can't get to the shops, they're too busy, they need to send gifts to their family and friends. Let's take a hospitality venue, for example. We could even take this one step further and even be more specific and say high-end luxury hospitality venues, because they are totally different to just a regular hospitality venue. They value different things and they have different problems. So for the hospitality venue, they would like to create, or they want to create like a really beautiful guest experience, have like a really nice ambience. And the main thing is that they want their guests to stay longer and they want their guests to spend more money from staying longer. So we want a demographic with a pain point that you can solve. Most people only have one part, the demographic, but we want to speak to the demographic with the particular problem or pain point. So we're going to talk more about problems and pain points a little bit later, so don't worry about that too much just yet. But once we identify them, it's going to make up a really important component of our messaging. Okay, now let's talk about your product niche. This focuses on your product or service offering and unique design aesthetic. For example, statement vase arrangements featuring Australian natives or dried flower bouquets. Now, the main reason why niching is so important is if you try to speak to everyone, you actually speak to no one. Let me say that again. If you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. Now, a lot of you might be feeling a little bit resistant to this, thinking, well, what if it limits my opportunities? What if it means I lose out on sales? What if it means I say no to the people who give me money? What if I'm putting my business at risk? What if I'm putting my income at risk? I get this, and I have been there too. When I started my business, it was so hard to say no to custom bouquets or custom requests because in my mind, I was saying no to money, like literally money that is paying my mortgage. But by saying yes to all of the things, this can really make us enter a scarcity mindset and move us further away from our goal and just basically create chaos. And this is what leads us to burnout because we're trying to do too many things for too many people all at the same time. So by saying no to the things that didn't align with my product or people niche, it created more space in my business to begin to say yes and have time to say yes to the things that aligned with my product and people niche. When you become known for your one thing, when you become known as the go-to in your industry for a particular type of product or service, this is where you see really fast growth. That is when you start attracting your ideal customer. That is when you can start creating what you want. That is when you can start charging premiums. That is when your marketing becomes potent. Now, this is a little bit random, but I recently listened to this podcast about an archer who teaches this really unique method of archery. He's developed the system with clearly defined guidelines that archers can follow to basically hit bullseye every single time. Now, he has a 15-year-old son named Bodhi who was like the best archer in the world. He won this really prestigious competition where he had to hit a penny 60 times in a row at 20 yards. He is really cool to watch. The precision, the concentration, the calculation was so well refined. And that's where we want to be when we speak to our niche. We want to be laser focused. We want to hit that penny 60 times out of 60 times. We don't just want to pick up the bow and arrow with no experience, no target, no end goal, and just hope for the best. It will take us maybe 100 shots, probably more, before we even came close to hitting one penny. So when we are laser focused like Bodhi, we say, I'm going after this person with this problem. Not only does our marketing and messaging become stronger, we become more confident. The people that we are talking to stand up and be like, oh, hello, I'm a hospitality operator. Are you talking to me? And then they're also thinking, okay, you are serious about what you do because you say no to everyone else. I need your help. But it's only when we speak in a clear and calculated way that both demographic and problem, this works. When you have a narrow niche, every other florist is an amateur archer, but you're Bodhi, the 15-year-old who shot 60 pennies from 20 yards. You, my beautiful, amazing, talented florist friend, are talking the right words to the right people in the right way. Because when you know your audience, their challenges, their pain points, their desires, their roadblocks, when you know this person so deeply, you will be unstoppable. Your marketing, your product, your service becomes the arrow, and your person becomes the penny in like a non-violent way. You may not reach as many people, but you are reaching the right people. And those are the people who are like, heck yes, I need your flowers, I need your product, I need your service. Now, ideally, having a niche in both product and people ensures you stand out effectively in the floral market. I want you to aim to have both. However, sometimes both niches aren't so specific. Let's use one of my examples from before. Let's say my product niche is large vase arrangements featuring Australian natives for high-end luxury venues, my product niche. This has both a really clear product niche and a really clear people niche, right? But if you do all sorts of floral arrangements for high-end luxury hospitality venues, like table flowers, bud vases, installations, you might not necessarily have a really, really clear product niche because you are offering a wider range of floral designs. Let me draw this out for you. Okay, so down here, this little person doing our happy dance, that is your hospitality venue, right? And then up here at the top, you've got many different product offerings. So for the hospitality venues, you could do table flowers. You may do installations. You may do bud vases. You may do statement vase arrangements. You may do bar arrangements. So, can you see up here, if you have a wider product niche, you must have a narrow people niche. Or if you only offer one floral item, so let's say statement vase arrangements, for many types of corporate venues, for example. So it could be hospitality, beauty salons, real estate agents, professional services, hairdressers. Okay, so if you have a wide people niche, like you serve lots of different people, you need to have one product niche. Now, I really want you to try and have both a really clear product niche and a really clear people niche if possible. Now, I just want to talk about your people niche a little bit more, because even if you have a wider people niche, you still need to be really clear on who your ideal customer is. For example, at the Posy Post, we have a product niche, so one bouquet that changes each day delivered. But we have a wider people niche because we do serve a wide range of people. Like literally every single person under the sun buys from us, buys our product. Now, if you have a wider people niche like we do, so you serve lots of different types of people, you still need to decide on one ideal customer. At Posy, our ideal customer is females aged between 30 and 45 who work in the healthcare sector and have little kids. They want to show love and appreciation to their family and friends. That's the demographic part. Now, the problem that we solve is that they are extremely time poor. They don't have time to go to the shops for gifts, so they need a product or service for convenience. See how we have our demographic defined and their problem defined as well. And our understanding of our ideal customer is so deep, we literally know how much they spend on their work attire at Country Road each month. Her name is Em, by the way. So everything that we do in our marketing is talking to that one person, Em. Like if you look at our marketing or messaging, we never say, boys, get your girl flowers, buy yourself flowers, because Em simply isn't that person. In our marketing, we empathize with busy, professional, working females. So we do things like giveaways at school holiday time because we know that means a lot to Em. Every single teeny tiny message that goes out into the world is with Em in mind. She is our one ideal customer, and that is the only person that we speak to. So when you do have a wider people niche, you're not calling them out like you'd call out your high-end hospitality venue out. Like we're not saying beautiful blooms delivered daily for busy working mums with kids who shop at Country Road. But everything in our message hints at who that person is. And I just really want to touch on this again because it's really tempting to offer everything under the sun to everyone under the sun. Weddings, events, funerals, baby showers, corporate arrangements, custom arrangements, deliveries to every single person possible. But if I could summarize everything I've just said, it would be being everything to everyone. You're actually being nothing to no one. The more specific you can be, the more laser focused you can be to serve your person with your product, the more sales you will make. So imagine this, if you became known as the absolute best in one specific area of your product niche and your people niche, narrowing your focus will elevate your reputation and attract customers who specifically seek out your expertise. Like if someone needs a wreath, if someone needs dried flowers, if someone needs a romantic bouquet for their girlfriend, I want you to be the first and the only business that they think of. By focusing on one thing, you can streamline your operations and workflow, you can optimize processes, you can enhance quality control, you can have the best flippin' customer experience out there and deliver constantly exceptional results, which leads to happier clients and more referrals. One other thing, niching also enables you to command premium pricing. Customers are willing to pay more for expertise and specialized services that deliver exceptional value and results. Consider stores like Target, Kmart, Bunnings that offer a wide range of products to a wide range of people. These shops can't charge a premium price because they're seen as commodities. However, when you become known for one thing and establish yourself as an expert in that area, you increase your perceived value. Okay, now there is a lot in there, but now we're going to talk about how we do it. How do we find our product niche and our people niche? Okay, so we call this exercise the 5-point niche navigator. So there is 5 considerations that you need to take into account when deciding on a niche. The first one is that you have to love your product niche. You have to love your product niche because by the time you finish these 12 weeks, you're going to be making a flippin' lot of them. So the second thing that you have to do or consider is you have to like your people niche. You have to like your people niche because if there is a certain group of people that you don't like working with, guess what? It's your business, so it's your choice. You have to be able to help them. Obviously, they need your service for some type of reason. They have to be able to pay you. So are they likely to buy from you and can they pay you? We don't want to waste all of our energy talking to people who cannot pay us. And is there a big enough pool of them? So are there enough of your people niche? Like, is the customer pool big enough? If you're in a small town and there is only one hospitality venue, for example, that will buy from you, then there's probably not enough in that particular pool. Okay, so let's list out some ideas to find your product niche and your people niche. Firstly, let's list out our product niche because being creatives, that is probably the thing we want to create, right? Okay, so if I think about what I like creating, it could be something like dried flower arrangements. It could be subscription bouquet deliveries. It could be flower crown workshops. So I'll just pop through there, but you could list out however many that you want there, really, that's fine. So let's brainstorm some ideas about our people niche. So again, it could be the hospitality venues. It could be artists. It could be professional males. Again, list as many as you like here. Now, what we want to do is go through our 5-point niche navigator. That was our hexagon shape with the little emojis in it. And we want to make sure that each category ticks all 5 boxes. Okay, so the very first thing to ask yourself is, do you love the product niche? Now, I'm going to eliminate some really quickly here because I already know that I do not love doing flower crown workshops, and I do know that I do not love making dried flower arrangements. So we're left with our subscription bouquet deliveries. Now, the second thing we want to consider is, do we like our people niche? So I'm going to give my bouquet delivery a big tick here because we love our product niche there. Fabulous. Now, what we want to ask ourselves is, do we like the people niche? So yeah, I like hospitality venues, love artists, like professional males. Happy days. So the next thing is can you help them? So if we line up our subscription bouquet deliveries with our hospitality venues, I'm going to say no. I don't think we can help them with that because I don't think that's going to be a suitable product or service that's going to either solve a problem for them or help with one of their desires. Now, subscription bouquet deliveries for artists. I mean, yeah, that could work. If we're talking specifically to artists to send out some subscription bouquet deliveries, it could work. It's a little bit weird, so I think I'm actually going to put a cross on that one. And then subscription bouquet deliveries for professional males. Yeah, that'll 100% work. So they're busy, they might not have time to show as much love and appreciation as what they should to their partners. So a subscription-based bouquet delivery could suit them really well. So, yes. Now, can they pay you? Are they likely to buy from you, and can they pay you? Now, we've basically eliminated our hospitality venues, so I'm going to cross them off there. And I feel like we've eliminated our artists as well with the last one, so I'm going to cross them off. If I can find my red pen here, what is happening? There we go. Which basically means, without going through the next steps, we're left with subscription bouquet deliveries for professional males. But we still just want to finish off that 5-point niche navigator. So the next ones were, so can they pay you? And then the pool. So is there enough of your people niche? Like, is the customer pool big enough? And yeah, I think professional males in where we're based is a big enough pool. So we basically get 5 ticks for all of that 5-point niche navigator exercise we did. So what we're left with is subscription bouquet deliveries for professional males. Okay, so now that we have our product niche of subscription bouquet deliveries for our people niche, professional males, we need to identify their problems. Now, if your niche has a tangible result that you can solve, that is amazing. But being flowers, a lot of the pain points or problems our customers are going to have will be intangible because flowers are an emotional outcome. They're an emotional purchase most of the time anyway. So ask yourself, what does my people niche want more than anything? Their desires. Let's take the high-end hospitality venue. Their ultimate goal is to elevate their customer experience, getting their guests to stay for longer, and ultimately probably making more money. So what are their problems or pain points? This could be that the flowers they are currently getting from a vendor don't last long enough. They have to pick up the arrangements from the flower shop and return the vases themselves. They have to put the flowers in the bin themselves. So once we know their desires, then we can say, I create show-stopping flower arrangements to help hospitality venues elevate their customer experience. See how immediately that person that you're talking to is like, oh yeah, that's me. They're talking to me. Let's do another example. Let's say we're doing our subscription bouquet deliveries for males. The thing that they want more than anything, their desire, is to show love to their partners, or they've effed up and need to say I'm sorry, or they've forgotten an important date, or they need to get some extra brownie points. And their problem is that they just can't be bothered making an order, or they have thought about it and it got to the end of the day and they didn't get around to it. So then we could say we create dreamy flower bouquets to get you extra brownie points with your wife without lifting a finger. At this time, you might be thinking, what the heck, Brooke? I'm just here making flowers, making pretty things for people. What type of problems can I actually solve? Well, it's actually a lot. It's probably that you just haven't put too much thought into it until now. And also, don't underestimate even the simplest of problems that you can help solve for your customer. If you don't know their desires, their problems, or their pain points, this is where you need to do some type of market research. And market research is really just a fancy word for simply asking them. Or if you have an existing customer base, you could identify your top paying customers and seeing what they have in common. So now we want to do a quick exercise to create our ideal customer avatar. There is a worksheet included, so you basically just need to fill in the blanks. Now, just fill this out as best you can at the moment. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. Let's get scrappy. We can refine later if needed. Okay, so open up your worksheet and we want to fill in these blanks. So we're going to do this for our busy professional male that we just identified there. His demographics is, I think he's about 30, he's male. He is married and they've only just been married for about a year, and I think they've only just had a new baby. So they've got one baby at 3 months old. He lives in Newcastle, and we want to be as specific as possible here because while Newcastle is not a major city, it is quite a big town. So I'm going to be more specific here and say he lives in, not Merriweather, he lives in Dudley. So for people who don't know Newcastle, Dudley is a little town on the outskirts of Newcastle. The housing there is quite expensive, so I would sort of presume that you'd need a little bit of money to live there. The occupation, he's super busy, he's super career focused, so he's got a bit of money, so I'm going to say that he's a lawyer. Annual income, oh God, what would be good for a lawyer? I don't even know. Let's say 180K. And the level of education is probably postgrad, I would imagine. Okay, now the next thing that we want to identify is what are their desires? What do they want more than anything by using or to achieve by using our service? So for us, it's going to be show love and appreciation to their wives. I don't know, to kind of make up for them not being there as much as they would probably like. And I recently actually asked a few avatars in the real world that were similar to the person that we identified, what would their main desire be? Like, why would they use this service? And they're all bloody sickos. Do you know what they said? They all said they would send them flowers to get lucky. Sickos. So I'm going to say get lucky. So the next thing that we want to identify is their pain points or their problems. Pain points could be that they're so busy, they just don't have time to make an order. They've run out of time. Or they have thought about it and it got to the end of the day and they simply just didn't get around to it. Or they're simply just too busy. List as many as you can here. Okay, so now that we have identified all of that information, we basically want to put it into a sentence. So on these lines here, you basically just need to go through and fill out the blanks in your worksheet. So your business name, what you do, your ideal customer, the result, the pain or the roadblock. So I've just pre-written something here. So it is at, oh, by the way, I've named this business, I'm calling it Dr. Bloom. I just think it's hilarious. So we're going with Dr. Bloom. So at Dr. Bloom, what we do, we create and deliver dreamy flower bouquets for our ideal customer, so busy professional males. To achieve, so the result, their desire, what they want more than anything. Now I have written up here, show love to their wives and get help and help get extra brownie points. But since I've spoken to a few people, like I said, they all just said they want to get lucky. So I think I may have had my desire wrong there in the very first instance. So I'm going to say get lucky without, so what were their problems or their pain points? And this person, they're simply too busy, so it's without lifting a finger. Okay, so at Dr. Bloom, we create and deliver dreamy flower bouquets for busy professional males to get lucky without lifting a finger. Now, if you can have a rough message similar to my example, that is amazing. It doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to work on perfecting your message in another training. So if you can identify your product niche, your people niche, and your ideal customer avatar and get this part of your business right to begin with, you're off to a really, really good start. I can guarantee that you are going to be in the 1% of florists doing this, and it's really going to set you apart.